I recently had a conversation with the social media content manager at Yoda One Games. Very interesting conversation. We talked about why social media marketing is so important, some of the challenges that mobile game developers face when they're trying to do social media marketing well, and we also got into a bit of UA and really just setting a foundation for understanding the whole landscape of social media marketing. So, here's the conversation. Why is social media marketing specifically important for mobile gaming?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, mobile games are on your phone, right? Social media, you spend most of your time on your phone.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. So just because of the proximity of
Right.
the game and the other apps that you're on, it's not as easy to go back and forth between a full screen thing on your computer if you're playing a computer game and
Right.
maybe Facebook or TikTok.
Or even like, let's say this is maybe kind of a broad example, but like if you were to see a commercial on TV, that's going to be a little bit more effort to download the mobile game versus if you see an ad on social media platform, because then it's just a click of a button.
Right. Right. So that's sort of the foundation of it then, right? It's that it's on your phone. Both are on your phone.
Right. Right.
Is there anything else in terms of maybe foundational stuff that we could say as as someone who works in social media marketing at a mobile gaming publisher? Is there something that we could say maybe that would help us get an understanding of the landscape of social media marketing? And then I think we can dive into some specifics.
Right. So there's obviously multiple different pillars that you could go into with social media and social media marketing. Social media is such a broad area now. Like there's so many different platforms, right? And you could maybe like even consider Discord a social media app. So with that, there's just so many different levels because also, there is your planning of content and creating the content. There is influencer marketing, KOL marketing. There is managing a community via social media. There's so many different layers and so many different areas we could dive into. And why social media is so important because it can do so much for a mobile game,
Right.
or even not a mobile game, for PC games, for an Xbox game. Um, Social media is how the world communicates these days.
So when we're talking about it, we're including things that sort of could be on the edge of, let's say, because you wouldn't consider. I mean, WhatsApp as, I guess, is it a messaging platform or is it social media? So we're going to go with the broader sort of definition of social media, right?
Yes, I think that is the safe thing because a lot of things can fall under social media and then you can divide it further from there.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Maybe also before we sort of get into the weeds, we're going to be exploring KOL marketing. We're going to be talking about community. We're going to spend some time talking about content, creating content for social media marketing campaigns. But based on what you do, again, social media marketing for a mobile gaming publisher, what are some of the challenges that you see for developers who may be trying to do this, but due to different circumstances, it's a challenge? What are some of those challenges that they're facing?
Yeah, that is a great question. The first one is it's incredibly time consuming. Planning content, creating content, trying to figure out what type of content. And we're just talking about content. Like that in itself is super time consuming. Not even talking about responding to messages, making sure you follow people because you can't not follow people on your social media. You have to follow friends, right? Different other social media or other mobile game social medias that you can maybe refer to, right? You have to do research into it. Finding these KOLs is not exactly easy. Finding the right fit for your brand, reaching out to them, also working with them is a tricky thing to do, you know?
So just because there are so many things to take care of it. There's so many pieces. You have to be wearing that many hats of thinking of yourself as a community organizer, but also then thinking
Right.
of yourself as a TikToker, or thinking of
Right.
yourself, okay, then you have to think about, okay, well, what about audio? What about video quality? What about editing? So all of these things then suddenly start to uh, uh, creep in on you, and you realize that you're wearing a million hats if you're one
Right.
person. But I would also imagine that's true for small teams, right?
Right. It's a lot. I mean, because even if you think about the content that goes on TikTok, might need to be different than what goes on Facebook.
Right.
So now you need to not only create a lot of content, but you need to do it for multiple platforms. Like a meme would do better, maybe on Twitter or TikTok. But Facebook has an older generation, like an older audience base. So you just need to make sure you're tailoring that type of content to the right audience. And
Yeah.
if you don't know that, that is definitely a challenge, like if you don't know what type of audience are on the different social media platforms.
You're saying that right now, but that could be very different in a year or in 2 years or in 3 years.
True.
So
That
there's
is,
a
yeah.
continually evolving landscape of trends that
Right.
you also have to be tracking platform by platform.
Things are quickly changing. Social media is a fast-paced world. Well, has created this fast-paced world that we now live in today, and to keep up with it, again, time-consuming, and it's hard to follow the trends, to be on top of the trends, not just follow them, but be ahead of the curve, right?
Right.
That's how
Right. Because
you get the
is
most
it
views.
sometimes the case that you would be following, but then when you try to do that thing, it doesn't
Right.
work because it's already too late?
Yes, definitely. I mean, look at all the people in crypto. If you got in too late, you
Right.
missed out,
Everyone
right?
was late.
Right. Pretty
Yeah.
much. But even like, so for example, if you are new to a trend, a new hashtag, new dance, new TikTok dance, new sound, and there's only 20,000 videos under the sound, you're going to be able to get more views. People are going to be able to find you more versus a sound that has 5 million views. So being on top of the curve is helpful, but if you wait too long, then you're just another video in the 5 million videos.
But also, you could be jumping on a sound that will only ever have a few videos because it's not
Right.
one that's going to actually go.
Right.
Right.
Yes, very true. That it also happens. So it's definitely a
Sounds
big,
like a nightmare.
testing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, social media is both a blessing and a curse. It definitely can be used in the no the wrong way. Too much of anything is not a good thing. But social media also has such a power behind it, and it can do so much good.
Perhaps, I don't know if it's an elephant in the room, but right now when we're saying this, UA is not what it
Right.
used to be, right? So could we talk a little bit, what's the deal with UA right now?
Definitely, maybe the elephant in the room. But I mean, it's expensive. The cost per impression rate is pretty high. Also, I know that the quality of new users that you get from doing it might not always be the best. They might play the game for 30 seconds and be done. That's not super optimal, and we want people to actually play our games, not just open it. Also, inflation is a real thing, sadly.
Right. Yeah.
So it's happening. We're seeing it. It's in everywhere. It's, from food to mobile games to TV, everything. And of course,
People just have less disposable income to be clicking on things and buying stuff,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're spending $5 more for the burger you get every day, then you can't spend the $5 on
Yeah.
your favorite mobile game. So,
Right.
um, you know, sad, but it happens. It's the way of the world. Um, and then something else that personally I think is a good thing is the privacy reinforcement. And maybe I shouldn't say that as I work for a mobile game company, mobile game publisher, but
Why shouldn't you say that?
because UA, if UA was doing better, everyone would be doing better,
Right.
right? But
But you're not saying don't do UA. You're just saying
no,
it's
very
harder
important to
and it's a
still do
little harder
UA.
and it's more
Right,
expensive. You're not
right.
saying don't do UA. You're be
No,
very
no, no, no,
clear.
no.
You're not saying that.
My suggestion is do a little bit of everything. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do organic and UA. Do it all.